Jonathan Lee Riches investigates. I am covering the border migrant crisis. Boots on the ground. I am in Del Rio, Texas. Del Rio, Texas was a hotspot for a long, long time where thousands of people were crossing into the United States illegally through Del Rio, Texas. A lot of Haitians were staying under the bridge that connects with Mexico. And, it was a border major crisis in the city of Del Rio for sure. But things have changed. Things have seemed like it's changed. Just months ago, this whole area, the Border Humanitarian Coalition, was bringing in migrants here. And they were also flooded into this old car wash across the street. This is on Las Vacas Street in Del Rio. And this organization here was just months ago. Thousands were coming here. But guess what, folks? It is empty. It is empty. Just a few people here. Now, I don't know if they're migrants, but they're here with their luggage. Just a few people here. But it's not like it was before months ago. Let me spin the camera around and show you. It's the Border Humanitarian Coalition. And this is their center here. And this center here is the Verde. And this center here was hosting thousands just months ago. Just months ago. And it was so packed here. And now it's empty, more or less. Just a few people here. But I don't even think it's open anymore. I don't even think anyone is in here anymore. Looks like the whole thing got shut down. Now, why would it get shut down? Well, border crossings in this area pretty much go to zero now that the National Guard, Texas, Greg Abbott, have put fencing up and more or less secured the border. Though, we've seen people still come in, but not the thousands. When you have a place like this that was flooded with people as late as December 2023, and now it's pretty much empty, you got to admit that has been progress on Texas's part. You got to admit what Texas is doing is working. I'm going to share this report with you, folks. This report says, this report right here, news center sees increase in number of migrants staying in Del Rio. And this was in December of 2023. Del Rio's Migrant Processing Center is seeing an increase in the number of migrants who claim to have no money to continue their journey as a consequence are staying here. Tiffany Burrow, who was Operations Director of the Verde Border Humanitarian Coalition's Migrant Processing Center right here in Del Rio, spoke to 830 Times earlier this week about the migrants she is seeing now. And she said, in September, we had 10,221. In October, we averaged a little under 2,000 per week. We actually received buses on Thanksgiving. We are open. And then the day after that, so far, the record-breaking day, we had 838 in one day. Burrow said the Verde Border Humanitarian Coalition is no longer participating in the state of Texas's busing program, known as Governor Abbott's buses, a move by Texas governor to bus migrants free of charge to self-proclaimed sanctuary cities and elsewhere in the U.S. Chicago, Denver, New York City. 2 months ago, VVBHC made a decision to no longer participate in the state busing. So that hasn't happened for 2 months now. Asked to explain why she no longer used the state buses, Burrow said there had been a change in how it was done. There had been a curfew of when people could arrive in these destination cities. They took that away so the buses could arrive in those cities at any time 24/7, and then they were not able to allow coordination with NGOs in those locations to let them know in advance of when the buses are arriving. So it changed from buses being able to be met by NGOs to buses arriving at 2 in the morning in Chicago. That's some insight, right? While temperatures are dropping and knowing that there is no shelter available, knowing that they would be in the streets. Those cities have made it very clear that they are doing all they can and they are maxed out at capacity, as shelters across the U.S. are. The majority of people coming through no longer request those locations where the state buses were going, because through social media, the word has gotten out that those locations are saturated. Interesting. That would have been Chicago, New York, Denver. The number of people asking to go to those cities has gone down considerably. Another reason why it doesn't make sense for us to participate in the state busing program. As Burrows spoke, 2 large charter buses stood in the parking lot outside the center. Well, we only see a couple vehicles out here. No more buses. Everyone that is coming through Del Rio, their final destination is not Del Rio. So they will go to San Antonio, where there's an international airport, a Greyhound bus station, and an Amtrak service. Burrows said that she has seen a change in the makeup of migrant demographics. Up through October, even into November, we averaged about 5% of people coming in who didn't have funding and they didn't have a plan. But give them some time and they would work it out and carry on and get their Greyhound tickets, and we wouldn't really see them in the community. That's what's changing, and that's why the community is seeing an increase of people in the streets right now. What's changed is that percent is now up to 25%. Those 25% don't have tickets, they don't have a plan, and even if we had all the funding in the world and sent them to San Antonio, they're just going to sit in San Antonio because they don't have a way to get to their final destination. Interesting. It was so busy here, folks, that people were staying at this old car wash. This old car wash here. Have like no trespassing signs at this old car wash here. But they were staying here at this, this whole area was flooded with people daily. Now it's crickets. What happened? What happened? Yeah, this area here, people were sleeping and staying here. It says private property, but the migrants were here. This is private property. This is an alleyway. We'll walk on the public alleyway, but they got the whole place on surrounded by orange tape. So that's interesting. Now let's go back to the Border Humanitarian Coalition. Let's go back to the facility here. Empty as could be. Where'd everyone go? Look, you even got a Greyhound bus going by. See how big that Greyhound bus? Imagine when charter buses arriving here. Oh, they're waiting for the Greyhound bus. I see. I see why people are here. Must be a Greyhound bus station. Interesting. So let's go inside the coalition. Let's see. Let's investigate more. Let's see if anyone's here. And where'd everyone go? Where'd everyone go? Is it because of Abbott? Is it because they ran out of money? Look at this. No one's here and they got a cat left here. Hello. What in the world's going on here? They got water in there. They got cats inside there. Where are the people? Where are the people? Looks like it's been abandoned. I mean, do they come here every day? Little pretty kitty. Look how pretty that kitty is. Look how pretty that kitty is. Pretty kitty. What's going on here, folks? Empty as could be. Services no longer needed. Services no longer needed. Do they help the homeless and Americans? Look, they got like old wash stations out here. Whole place is shut down. What in the world? Look at this. They even have a shower laundry unit station out here where they making the people use the shower and laundry out here. What in the world? Like, this NGO is completely shut down. Shower laundry unit. Southern Baptist Convention, disaster release, TBM. Huh. Yeah. Well, isn't this interesting? Got a field here. Would people sleep? Where would they sleep? Where would all the people sleep? Or would they just facilitate people going to their next location? There's a sign here that says do not dump. Clothing. Do not dump clothing. They got like hand sanitizers, hand gel. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And then you got the parking lot, folks. So, actually going to knock on the door and see if anyone answered. If someone was there, if somebody wanted to talk. But it doesn't look like anyone is there. I feel bad for the cats that are left inside there. Hopefully, someone at least comes here regularly to check on those cats, right? Cats at the door. Look like, hopefully they got some food in there. Well, this is the place, and it's right across from a Mexican restaurant. Right across from a, what's that say? Del Rio Levantati, Jerusalem. Maybe like a religious establishment. Gates open. It keeps telling people to go through other doors. So, what's going to happen? Nobody going to be here anymore? Who is paying for all of this? Funding-wise. Who was paying? Funding-wise. Let's just knock and see if anybody answers at least, right? It's a place of business. Definitely looks empty. Oh, nobody's there. Oh. What is going on? So I'm out in the field looking into this and also sharing. No one's here anymore. Wow, things have changed, ladies and gentlemen. There goes the Greyhound bus. I am JLR Investigate. Subscribe to the channel, like, hit the notification button. We will talk soon. Stay tuned.